Hey, Abby. This Saturday and Sunday, I'll be gone on a weekend retreat with the company.
Are you serious? On such short notice?
Sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I was so busy that I completely forgot to tell you.
That's not what we agreed on, Colin. You said that you would come home the first weekend you were free. Now you're all of a sudden not coming home?
That's the long and short of it. Glad you understand. I finish on Friday, but we'll probably go out and celebrate till the next morning. So we'll leave for the retreat first thing on Saturday and sober up on the way there. I'll be back Sunday, but it'll probably be late, so I'll just crash someplace near the office so I can be on time for Monday.
But we were looking forward to seeing you.
Come on, it's just a little celebrating after the end of quarter crunch. Just let it slide.
That's not right. Before going out celebrating or going on a company retreat, the first thing you should do after finishing a big project is come home to your family. For the last few months, you've been crashing at the company apartments, right?
There you go, exaggerating again. There's no way I haven't been home for that long.
No, I'm not. I have it marked on the kitchen calendar so the kids can see when Daddy is coming home. You joined the company in July when they were at their busiest and have been spending every night there since.
Really? Doesn't seem like that long ago. Time flies when you're really busy, it seems.
No matter how busy a company gets, they should allow their employees to go home to their families. And yet you haven't come home at all. Now that you've finished up Q3, you're not even going to come home and instead go on a retreat? There is something seriously wrong with your company. There have to be some labor laws that are being broken. This can't be good for the physical and mental health of their employees.
Come on. That's a little harsh, don't you think? I'm still the new guy at this company. I need to show everyone here how dedicated I am to the job so I can secure my position. You know that I'm doing this for you and the kids, right?
You're putting the cart before the horse here. You may be working for our family, but because of that work, you haven't even seen your kids' faces in how many months? Are you fine with this? We all miss you.
I know what my kids look like. I have the pictures you've sent me. That's plenty for me. And as their father, they can't see me complaining about working. In fact, I'm setting a good example for what kind of adults they should strive to be. It's you who needs to show more independence without me.
So you are that set on going to that company retreat even though attendance is probably not even required? Would it kill you to try to put your family first for once?
Are you kidding? Do you know how bad it would look if the new guy didn't go on his first company outing? This is also the perfect scenario to meet colleagues from other departments. Making the right connections now will prove valuable in the future. Why are you trying to get in your own husband's way?
How can you say that? I'm thinking about our family.
So am I. Look, I'm sorry for pushing the household chores and taking care of the kids all onto you, but it's just for a few days more. Once the retreat is over, I'll be home and we can forget all about this argument. I'll make it up to you. I promise.
I believe you're Abigail, Colin's wife, am I correct?
Yes, and who is this?
My name is Minnie, a co-worker of Colin's.
Is that so?
Nice to meet you, Minnie. Is there anything I can do for you? Or did Colin mess something up? Nothing of the sort. If anything, Colin has been nothing but a huge help to all of us and bailed me out of a few tough situations. He's definitely becoming someone that we can all rely on and is an indispensable part of our team now.
Thank you.
Hearing that does make me feel better. I'm glad my husband is being useful there. I just wish he could come home more. Yes, well, that brings me to the point of this conversation. A little while ago, I saw Colin looking down and was worried that he might be feeling too much stress. And it turns out it was stress.
Oh no. Really? I need to talk to him.
No need. I talked to him and found out the reason for his stress.
Has he been working too hard lately?
He was frustrated and depressed that his wife doesn't seem to understand his position here. You make the perfect picture of a wife that worries about their hubby's well-being. But you need to understand that all the work he does is for his family.
I believe I am supporting him in my own way. Can he not see that? But soon after joining your company, he hasn't been home for the past few months. Is that not reason enough for a wife to be worried?
Abby! Can I call you Abby? He always talks about you and your wonderful kids, so I feel like we're friends already.
I guess so.
Look, Abby, it's completely normal for workers here to spend the night. The company even rents out a nearby building as dorms for employees who work late. They don't want to see any of their precious employees getting hurt trying to get home while they're tired from working. The amenities in these dorms are fantastic. Better than the first place most rookies get out on their own. Colin told me about the first place you guys got together, and he said the dorms were several times bigger and better than what you guys had.
That sounds wonderful. Please tell me, Minnie. Do female employees like yourself spend months at the company dorms? Are things so busy at your company that other employees, including my husband, need to spend weeks at a time away from their families?
Well, it depends on the person, so it can only be judged on a case-by-case basis. Even I need to crash at the dorms from time to time.
So it's not uncommon even for you?
Yes! Now that we've got that out of the way, Hell Week is over, so we all want to enjoy the company retreat and have a fun weekend. So please, can you find it in your heart to allow Colin to join us on the retreat? He's become so important to us that the party won't start till he shows up.
Before I agree to anything, can you give me a more detailed reason as to why the company is putting on this vacation?
Reason? It should be obvious to see. To deepen the ties between employees, build teamwork, and get to know colleagues from other departments better.
I see. If that's the case, I see no reason for Colin to join the retreat. After spending several months basically living at the office, he should be well acquainted with all his co-workers by now. I have 2 young children here that need a father. The oldest is already noticing that the excuses I'm making are starting to look thin. The youngest was looking through the pictures in my phone and actually asked who the man in one of our family pictures was. So for the sake of his kids, at the very least, please allow my husband to skip out on the company retreat and come home.
You've got to be kidding me. Going AWOL from a company outing just because his family misses him a little? Don't you think you're overstepping your bounds as a wife?
How is that unreasonable?
And using your children as a shield to hide behind? It's obvious that you are feeling jealous that Colin spends a little more time at the office than he does with you. You sound like a control freak that is upset that her husband wants to go and have some fun without her after working his butt off.
That's not the case at all. As a wife and mother, I just want my husband to hold his family at a higher priority than his job.
Anybody who actually works knows that a job is more important than family. A wife that just lazes around the house all day obviously will never understand the importance of working.
You can't be serious.
Yes, I've heard everything from Colin. You use the cover of raising the kids as a reason to not go out and get a job that helps pay the bills. Then you have the gall to nag him all the time about the great work he's doing here. With a wife like that, is it any wonder that Colin likes spending more time at the office than at home?
Did he really say all that?
For someone that can only raise kids and clean a house, I suggest you stay in your lane. Keep your mouth shut and support your husband like a good little housewife. As his co-worker, anytime the subject turns to you, it really wrecks the atmosphere. From here on out, it would be much appreciated if you so kindly keep your nose out of his work affairs. For crying out loud! The last few hours of you constantly ringing his phone, Colin has a headache and can't enjoy his time here. He's taking a nap in a separate room now, so please cut it out. Everyone in the company feels sorry for him trying to have to deal with you. It seems like all the stress left his body at once after reaching the resort and he was out like a light.
Thank goodness I finally got a hold of you, Minnie. Would you be so kind as to go and wake my husband up?
You've got to be kidding me. Did you not just read what I said?
I did, but there is something very important that he needs to know. It will be over in a second, so please wake him up and tell him to pick up his phone.
I can't believe you want me to wake up your husband who is so comfortably sleeping. Can you really call yourself a kind wife? Colin is enjoying a weekend free from your autocratic nature and therefore has no reason to speak to you now.
Please, this is an emergency. Wake him up and put him on the phone.
Enjoying his company retreat is more important than listening to the gripes of a lazy housewife. I will not wake him up. Please do not call me or him for the remainder of the retreat. Colin said that he would go home after the retreat, didn't he? So any conversation between you two can take place in the comfort of your own home. Now is his time to focus on building bonds between his co-workers.
By then it will be too late. Please put him on the phone.
My goodness, you are so pig-headed, aren't you? Abigail, who do you think you are? It's absolutely unheard of for a wife to so persistently call her husband who is on a company retreat.
It's also awfully strange for you to constantly refuse to connect me to my own husband. Are you really just a co-worker of my husband?
Of course.
If that's the case, there is no reason for you to put yourself between me trying to reach him. His wife is asking you to wake him up. That is all you need to know. If you really are just a co-worker, hurry up and wake him up.
What is up with that kind of attitude? I've been with him every day while you haven't seen him for the last few months. I probably know how he thinks better than you do now.
This is only at work, isn't it?
Isn't that obvious? I'm with him from dawn till dusk, working hard for our company.
So, you really are just a co-worker of Colin's? If that's what you are to him, put him on the phone.
You just won't give up, will you? Just because you haven't seen your husband for a few days, you're being a bit too overprotective, aren't you? Can't you see this is why things have cooled between you two?
That has nothing to do with it.
And so what if I'm just a co-worker of Colin's? That just makes you some wife if we're giving each other titles. Just because you're married to him doesn't give you any special rights over him. At the end of the day, it's just a union held up by a single piece of paper.
You really are a piece of work, aren't you?
Colin is on a company retreat enjoying his time with us and not with you. You are being jealous, petty, and overbearing at the same time. We all want to have a pleasant and stress-free time this weekend, so please stop interrupting us.
At the moment, all your co-workers are on TV apologizing like crazy during an emergency press conference. Did you know that?
What do you mean by that?
I'm done playing games with you. I've known for a while now that there was no company retreat. Did you really think that such an easily seen-through lie would work? But what is going on now is more important than your indiscretions. Now put my husband on the phone right now!
Wait, from when did you know? A press conference? What's going on here?
A massive leak of personal information. It seems like a virus was found on Colin's office workstation. From there, hackers were able to steal names, addresses, and passwords.
From Colin's computer?
And the amount leaked looks like it will join the record books. So the company heads put together an emergency press conference to apologize and warn their customers. Of course, behind the scenes, all employees are working together to investigate the cause scope of the leak.
This is a joke, right? I'm sorry, but it just isn't funny.
I wish. Amidst all this chaos, 2 employees on a company retreat haven't even turned on the TV. It's on every channel if you care to look. The poor tired boy fell asleep after reaching the resort, so let the little baby sleep? This is the real world, little girl. Stand up, turn around, and get my husband now. The higher-ups have been blowing my phone up the entire morning, asking me to get a hold of and bring in the person of interest. Do you have any idea how embarrassing that is?
This can't be happening.
Since they're contacting me, it's obvious that they've been blowing up suspect A's phone as well, but to no avail.
Oh my goodness. It's true. There's hundreds of messages from all sorts of people from the company. There's been so many calls that his phone battery is down to only 3%.
I'm surprised that you two ignored that many calls. Never did it occur to you that it might be serious?
Because we thought it was just you being annoying. So we put the phone at the bottom of his bag and ignored it.
Well, you should now know how much of an emergency this is. Now shake my husband Colin awake for me, Ms. Just a Co-worker.
Then tell him that he needs to call his office immediately. Just a coworker.
Abby, what should I do? Do you think they'll fire me?
Not my call. Have you started heading back to the office?
Not yet. I haven't left yet. I haven't even replied to any of the calls from everyone from the office.
What?
Well, I'm scared. Because of me, the boss and all the other higher-ups had to apologize on national TV. And all my co-workers had to go to the office on the weekend to investigate what I did wrong. Do you really think I can show my face at such a time?
While that may be true, you still need to go to the office in person. You are the reason for this, after all.
It's because I'm the party of concern I don't want to go. They're just going to place all the blame on me and fire me, aren't they? Why would I subject myself to that humiliation?
You don't intend to run, do you?
I'm not going to run, but I don't want to go to the office.
How can you say something so spoiled? All your co-workers are at the office bending over backwards, digging through your PC, trying to find the root of the leak. We've all seen the pictures you had on there of you and co-worker you were cheating on me with. So you have nothing left to be embarrassed about. You have nothing left to lose, so get your rearing gear and go to the office.
Are you serious? What pictures are you talking about? Cheating? Me? Never!
It's too late to play stupid. Even though you're a pro at it, it's not the time nor the place. I told you that your office PC has been thoroughly searched, right? Not safe for work pictures of you and Minnie, your chat logs, and your net search history, which proves you were wasting company time and money. Your coworkers have seen all of it. I can't believe you would expose your coworkers to such indecency when they are working so hard. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is to be your wife right now?
No way. You've got to be kidding me. Everyone's seen our pictures?
Yes, from your date pics to the more risque ones. All of them. Once they gather everything together, your coworkers promise to send me copies of it all.
Anything but that. Please don't have them send the pictures to you.
What are you getting bent out of shape for? I already know you've been cheating, so what's the problem? Every time you said you were staying at the company dorms, you were really staying at Minnie's place. Everyone at the office knew you guys were having an affair, so shut up and help them out.
This has to be a bad dream.
I heard everything from your coworkers. The crunch time has been over for quite a while now. Also, your boss told me they don't even let people working late use the dorms. Those are only for new employees that moved from afar until they find a place for themselves. He said you left every day at 5 p.m.
I can't believe everything is coming out into the open like this.
Instead of coming home to a wife and kids who wanted to see you every day, you spent every single one of those nights in the bed of another woman. You have no right to feel bad about any of this. After joining a new company for your family.
Well, that part is true.
You constantly complained to Minnie that I was a lazy housewife that used child rearing as an excuse to not go out and work. How low can you possibly get? When you were the one to beg me to stay at home when we got married.
Did she really say that? Are you sure you aren't mistaken and blowing things out of proportion? Or maybe she just misheard things and got some facts mixed up. She can be pretty silly and airheaded at times.
Are you really still trying to make excuses? We are way past the point of no return. Don't forget that both your company and I have a lot of things we want to talk to you about. So quit being a coward and get back here.
Please, wait.
By the way, from your web browsing logs, we know that you are staying at a bed and breakfast in Newport. If you want us to send someone to retrieve you by force, I will happily agree.
Wait, I promise that I'll come back right now. So calm down.
You just said that you're coming back right now. It will take you less than an hour at this time of day, so no more wasting time. So, that is exactly what I'm telling your company for you. Aren't I nice? Abigail, this is too much. I can't pay you $20,000. I've been fired from my job and still haven't found a new job yet. There is no way I can pay this sum. Oh, is that so? Well, you and Colin both got fired, right? It was against company policy to use portable memory drives, but you two used a flash drive to bring some work home, and that's where you picked up a virus that caused this debacle. We didn't think something like that could happen to us. We just wanted to hurry and be together. Doing the extra work while eating dinner together was one of the things we looked forward to. And because of something so small, we were fired. I don't care about the reasons you two got fired anymore. I'm holding you responsible for being a homewrecker. You can't keep holding a grudge like that. Please let it go. I've been through enough as it is. I'm the one who had embarrassing pictures of themselves seen by everyone they worked with. I've never been so humiliated, and my poor heart has been scarred by such a traumatic experience. And you want me to pay you that fortune on top of it all? You're such a meanie! Now you want to play the part of the sensitive maiden that's been wronged by a cruel world? What happened to the cutthroat businesswoman that went out of her way to knowingly seduce a married man? I'll let you have Colin back, so please let me off the hook. If he goes back to you, I won't be a homewrecker, right? Everything goes back to normal, so I don't have to pay you any remedies, right? You think the world works like that? Do you really have a reverse button that controls the space-time continuum? Or are you really that self-absorbed that you think you can get away by pretending nothing happened? He got fired just like me. And I have no intention of being with an unemployed man. So you can have him back. Poor Colin. To get dumped by such a shallow woman. If you really think so, then take him back. You and your kids will all be happier that way. So let me off the hook. Nope. You aren't going anywhere. You will take responsibility for taking a father away from his children. Your selfishness caused this mess, and you will spend the rest of your life regretting it. What you are doing is so evil! Well, if you don't want to pay, then you don't have to. Really? Thank you so much! Yes, I can just sell the pictures I have of you two to the tabloids. The tabloids? I don't know how they did it, but one of their reporters sniffed out that the cause of your company's leak was a cheating couple with no security sense. They somehow got my number and we had a candid conversation. You wouldn't. Depending on how talks go, I'm sure I can get at least 20 grand for these pictures. Please no, anything but that. Please, for the love of all that is good. We would never be able to show our faces in public ever again. And for the low price of $20,000, you will be able to live your life normally. Is that not the greatest deal ever? Okay, I got it. You win. I'll scrounge up $20,000 somehow and pay you. Please don't sell those pictures to the tabloids. I expect the payment in full by the end of the week. Understood? If you are late or cop out, I have that reporter on speed dial. Minnie somehow managed to pull together the money. She paid the full $20,000 by the due date. Soon after, I heard she went back to her hometown to live with her parents. Colin and I separated, but I let him see the kids as long as he pays child support. But I don't know how or who did it. The eye-popping pictures of the two ended up circulating the web. I promise it wasn't me. It may have been one of the employees that was in charge of searching Colin's PC who had an axe to grind with the two. The damage done to the company's reputation was pretty bad, so without a doubt, there were probably several people with the motive to leak the photos. Because of that, and the leaked person information mishap, Colin has had trouble finding a steady job. Even his own parents have told him, "Don't you dare come here." So he's working several part-time jobs trying to make ends meet.